Words can be dense for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello. Kind of sad, kind of angry, kind of hurt, kind of happy, kind of a lot of things, man. But happy afternoon. It's Tuesday. Got a meeting today, 6 o'clock. But this one's just going in what I call my regular stuff, which is my stuff, Together We Can, and Take 12 Radio. Those are the people that I follow because they do things right. I've been hooked up with Together We Can for a couple years now, and yeah, I only talk to them, but they got a lot of the same views as me, a lot of the same views, and um, you know, yeah, you know, oh, 90% of the program is just keeping your darn mouth shut. And I gotta say, sometimes I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut. Yep. But God help me out with that. He put a good sponsor in my life. I need to give him a call. A couple things I got to talk to him about, or just to chat. I called him the other week just to say hi. I'm I'm trying to change. I'm trying to change, and I can't very well come on here and say you got to get a sponsor when but I can't. I would come on here and say I don't have a sponsor. I'm trying. I did. It took a while, man, but I'm not going to tell you 6 years. Um, I had a sponsor, help me through the steps and stuff. But today we're talking about guidance and direction, where it comes from. I just kind of put this in here because I'm kind of going through it too, where looking for a little bit of guidance and direction. Were your ears burning, Daryl? Were your ears burning? I was just talking about you. I was just talking about change and how 90% of the program is still keeping my darn mouth shut. Right? Yeah. I saw something today. It triggered me, and usually I would do something, but I'm gonna do nothing right now. I want to make a phone call because you want that, you know, revenge. It isn't even revenge. I don't know. I don't know. Hence why I need to talk to my sponsor about it. So, welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Are you? Man, you are on an adventure. I want to get to Waterworld, but I'm I'm scared. I'm scared to go. I don't know why. I love Waterworld. It's like the coolest place in the fucking world. And it's literally just down the street from you. Yep, you got a new kitten. You know, kittens are, yeah. I love my kitty cats. I've got four. There are eight in the house. Okay. There are eight in the house. So when we moved in here, um, Barb was we came in to take care of Barb, and we were here for a little bit. Barb had two cats, she had two Siamese cats. Well, and then I had my three cats, right? So that was five right there, right? And when Barb passed, I do not have the heart, right? I did not have the heart. Are you gonna tell me what you had for lunch too? Just kidding. Right. Anyway, so we kept those cats, and then it turns out that my son and daughter, their cats were stuck in a room, so I brought them over, and then my cat brought. Okay, so anyway, 8 cats. Here we are. Guidance and direction. I don't even know what I'm going to say on this. Let's do this real quick. Yep, yep, that is Dion as a little kid. Don't be fooled. I look innocent. I wasn't. I was not innocent. I look at it's funny. My mom will go, "Oh, it's such a beautiful kid." I'm like, "I'm the ugliest. Fuck, look at that haircut." All right. I guess you're giving guidance and direction. I'm now leaving Walmart. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. So, man, right now I'm looking for I myself, and I am going to actually cover it, but for myself, you know, I just feel like there's something that I need to do, but I can never really seem to find it. You know, I see my other friends and my peers settling into these things and stuff, and yeah, oh yeah, I always rebelled. I was one of those kids where bad attention was better than no attention because our my parents didn't give us attention. You know? So I did a lot of housework. That's what happens when you bug your parents incessantly. They'll put you to work. Okay. And Daryl get that joke because he's older like me. Right? And say older. You know, I really want to do something meaningful in this life, and I have to remember that I am. You know, I have to watch it. You know, because I'll push it. And so, where do we get our guidance and direction from? Well, for me, it's going to be the higher power, but that's not all. It's not all, right? So here's the thing for me. Sometimes I kind of feel like God's talking directly to me, but it's usually an answer for an outcome that's not going to affect anybody. If that makes any sense. Okay. Then sometimes I'll think that God is talking to me. I'll say it out loud and be like, yeah, I don't think God was talking to me on that one. Right. So when I ask God for guidance and direction, what I'm going to need to do from that point is be open minded. I'm going to have to listen. Okay. Because I found that God usually talks through his children. Now, I don't get to say, hey, God, I'm looking for direction. Can you give me guidance and direction through this particular person? That's how it works. That's how it works. Well, sometimes it might, you know. Sponsor is that kind of a situation. I had a sponsee call me the other day, and he's at the point where he just kind of calls me when he feels like something's wrong. So, which is fine. That's the relationship that we have. I'm his sponsor. He's completed the steps. He's done what he needs to do, man. Um, but he kept bringing this problem to other people because Well, he said he finally came to me because it had to do with money, but the problem wasn't money. But there's this, he was saying, I tell people how much money I make, and then that's all they focus on. So I got why he called me. Because if you know me, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care. And he deals with big numbers, right? I've met plenty of millionaires. I'm not impressed. Okay. I'm not. Okay. What it was is he didn't listen to his intuition when he knew better. That's what it came down to, right? And our intuition is kind of a guide, is it not? You know, my intuition has a set of morals with it. Um, and those morals usually stop me from hurting other people, right? Stops me from murdering, hurting other people. You know, I don't want to sit here and say it stops me from raping because it makes it sound like I want to rape people. Okay, I don't, nor do I want to murder them. I don't. Taking another human being's life is like, that's the ultimate in my book. That's the ultimate in my book, right? So that intuition, man, that intuition. So, you know, even now, being 53 years old, um, if I lie, my tummy will hurt. Weird, weird. It still happens. It still happens, right? Um, you know, just like everybody else, I want to go through a day and know that I help somebody. But because of the way my life is set up, I usually don't know until later. Okay. So that's humility. Direction. When I'm given, it seems like sometimes my direction sometimes comes with options, right? So sometimes God will give me a couple of directions. He'll give me the easy one, and he'll give me one that's a little bit arduous, a little bit harder. And I will pick the hard one. I always pick the hard one. And I do that because I know I'm going to get more out of it. I'm going to learn more from that than I am than the easy way, right? Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, I think that when your intuition is combined with wisdom, where you're on another level. Now, the experience, this is another time factor. The more experience, Daryl and I are a little bit older, we have more experiences. I've had more time to have more experiences. As you know, the amount of experiences I had when I got sober is nothing compared to what I know now. Mm-mm, right? The other thing about guidance and direction I have found is it doesn't matter how old you are, you still need it. You know, I there's is quite often I feel a little lost. Like right now, there's a hole in my stomach, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Um, my mind just went blank. So I'm gonna open up the book. Yeah, guidance and direction. Both you and the new man must walk day by day in the path of spiritual progress. If you persist, remarkable things will happen. When we look back, we realize that the things which came to us when we put ourselves in God's hands were better than anything we could have planned. Follow the dictates of a higher power, and you will presently live in a new, wonderful world, no matter your present circumstances. Now, you know what? This fits right with what we're talking about. That's the great thing about recovery. That's the awesome thing about AA. Doesn't matter what topic I bring up, I can open the book and it'll fit. Okay. See, I opened the book and trust that God was going to give me what I needed. And there it is. There it is. That was my intuition. It said, open the book. I listened. Okay. I like to call this God consciousness. Okay. Now, part of it is the repetitiveness. See, sometimes I'll get a thought, and I just know it's right. I just know it's right because of my experiences from either myself or someone else. Ah, see that person over there that they're getting bad results? Yeah, don't do that. Right? The whole all of the traditions are to tell you what not to do. Don't that's it always says in there, don't do this. We tried that. It didn't work. Didn't work. Everything in there. Just what they do is they told you the problem and then how they solved it. A lot of humility in those traditions, man. Okay? A lot of admitting how they went wrong. They do that so that we do not do the same thing. And what I love about it is then they explain why it was wrong. Even better. I'm just going to read the last couple of paragraphs of working with others, and then I'm going to kind of wrap up. Seems like there's something I got to. We are careful never to show intolerance or hatred of drinking as an institution. Experience shows that such an attitude is not helpful to anyone. Every new alcoholic looks for this spirit among us and is immensely relieved when he finds we are not witch burners. A spirit of intolerance might repel alcoholics whose lives might have been saved, or I'm sorry, could have been saved. Had it not been for such stupidity, we would not even do the cause of temperate drinking any good, for not one drinker in 1,000 likes to be told anything about alcohol by one who hates it. You can't hate on alcohol, man. See, that's the acceptance part of it. Um, when it came down to it, alcohol really didn't do anything to me. I did that. I did that. Alcohol is, that's like saying coffee ruined my life. Well, then stop drinking coffee. Oh, if it were so simple, right? If it, let me rephrase that. If it were so easy, it's very simple. That's probably part of the problem. I find the smarter, the more intelligent you are, IQ wise, harder time you have with this program. But if and when the switch is made, watch these people, man. They will do some incredible, incredible things in this program. You know, for all the shit that I talk about other programs, you know, where was I going with that? You know what? Everything has its place. I'd like to go with that, and I'd like to absolutely believe it. I don't totally, but I'm getting there. Yeah, yeah. It is an alcohol. Just, um, I'll tell you what I think it is, and this is personal opinion. I don't talk. I would not bring this up in a meeting. Okay. But I believe in the devil. You bet your ass I do. Alcohol is a spirit. I was possessed. I was possessed by a demonic spirit. And I needed to expel that demonic spirit. That demonic spirit is Mr. Hyde in my book. Right? Yeah, it isn't alcohol's fault. No. And it's not anybody's fault, right? I like where Daryl is going with this. Okay, no more blame. Just no more blame. If you can remove blame, that's when the healing really, really starts. That's when it really starts. I'm having to do a lot of rephrasing today. That's okay. I would have to do that. Okay. So, yeah. But that's kind of, that's how I feel about it, and it makes sense to me. Um, Probably a little Christian feeling, but, it is what it is. Someday we hope that Alcoholics Anonymous will help the public to better realization of the gravity of the alcoholic problem, but we shall be of little use if our attitude is one of bitterness or hostility. Drinkers will not stand for it. And this can be a little tough because sometimes, like right now, recovery is a fad. This usually happens every 15 years or so. Does alcohol's bad, alcohol's bad. And then we have, you know, then, and I appreciate people trying to help, but now we have celebrities out there saying, you got to get sober for yourself. And that tells me they're not in recovery and maybe they don't understand. Because I believe that you can get sober for any reason you want. I got sober for my wife and kids, man. Now I do it for me. But it took some time to get to that spot for me. That was my experience. It was a couple of years before I loved myself well enough to do the program for myself. There's a line we have. Fake it till you make it, and I did. Now, was I really faking it? No, that's the trick. See, I was actually loving myself before I even knew I was loving myself. That's what AA does for us. That's what the 12 steps do. Okay. But I can't go out there and say, oh, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Doesn't do much, even though I do it quite often. Oops. After all, our problems were of our own making. Bottles were just a simple symbol. It wasn't alcohol's fault. Besides, we have stopped fighting anybody or anything. We have to. Okay. That's where the repercussions come up again. The repercussions for fighting is different for us. It is much different. Okay. That's why in the doctor's opinion, when we say we see others drinking with impunity, they don't have the same consequences we do. Okay. But they also don't get the same comforts you do. Because you're an alcoholic, you get to have feelings of joy that most people in this world never have a chance at having. Yeah. Good with the bad, man. Just as far down, just as far up. The further you've gone down, the more experience you have, and you can help more. Not a challenge. Okay? Not a challenge. All right. So, all right, that's good. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Daryl, if I don't call you this afternoon, I'll be calling you tomorrow morning. So, um, yeah. All right. I love you. Peace out. Oh, wait a minute. this is kind of a long one. So I'm not a product of my environment. I'm not a product of my family life, good or bad. I doubt it's genetic. The bottom line is I am one, and what? Oh, the line is I am one, and what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. So what am I going to do about it? Yeah. Thank you. That's a great place to leave off. I appreciate that, Daryl. I love you all. I do. There's nothing, not a fucking thing you can do about it. It's a threat. Peace out and have a day.